You know, before I sat down here with you two, I had good vibes in the sense, and you've both proven it in this discussion, in this interview, that you're both philosophical. And that comes through in the music that you put out, too. Have you always been that way?
I think so. I think also with five guys who've shared so many experiences together, five very strong and very different personalities, which makes the group what it is, I think, is the driving force behind the band. But I think we have been seekers, you know, and searchers, and we're still on the expedition. We're still traveling the world and finding out a little more every day.
But taking that time in between, John and Justin, that's got to be helpful, too, because there's got to be breathing time for your lives, your own lives.
Yeah. Well, like we were saying before, as long as you can keep it in perspective and not live the fantasy. You know, what's the point of living a fantasy? You know, it's absolutely, it's fantasy. It's a fantasy. You know, it's not real.
Well, the comedian Jonathan Winters, in an interview with me once, said the worst thing you can do in show business is start believing your own stuff. That's what you said earlier, John.
Yeah, it's the same as the criticism. I mean, I don't think we've ever really been bothered about what people say about us. You get a good review one, you know, like some nights you read the paper the next day. One guy gives you a great review and the other guy gives you a terrible one in the other paper, and you think, oh, we're the same concert. But as long as you believe in what you're doing, and as long as you can always say, well, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
That's the most important
I think
thing.
the other thing, that the Moodies have been really fortunate. We have got a great communication with our audience, and the audience, you know, has been with us from day one. A lot of the people are still with us, a lot of new people, and the day one changes. It could be 67, 68, 87.
Yeah.
You know, the day one is changing, because we can tell from the letters that we do get a lot of mail come to us in England, and we've got a huge fan club, and people write to us and they just want to talk to us and put their thoughts down, or their ideas, or what's bothering them. It's great. It's like a sounding
you have
board.
that's unique to you and to your group, really. I mean, not totally, because in another whole field with the Grateful Dead and Jerry Garcia and that, but you have an avid following. No matter what the Moody Blues does, they're with you. I mean, that's a solid base, isn't it?
Yes.
It really is. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I mean, we did 95 or 97 gigs last year, and we're just about to go. We just went through the 100, and
yeah,
we
just went through the 100
for this particular tour. But there's some people that have been to every single one of them gigs in countries around the world. It's incredible. They're here now, and they're going to be there tonight.
They're probably sitting around here watching this interview somewhere in a chair, but they don't bother you.
No.
No. It's the great thing.
No.
The great thing that we've found that the people
The best fans, they don't.
They respect us as well, respect our little space that we have to live in as well. It's important.
I guess the wrap-up question is, we talked about the past, the present. How long can we carry on in the future, or do we worry about it? What's your philosophy with that?
I think as long as it's fun and it's a pleasure, that's as long as it'll go on.
You, John?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, if you can take the worries out of your own personal life, you can have a much better life. I know it sounds very easy to say that, but I think if we all work hard and try and do that, then you will, because then you'll reflect that energy to other people, and they're going to give you some back as well.
Yeah, because you can say there are such things as old rock and rollers, in the sense that you look at Little Richard and all of these people now in their 50s, Chuck Berry, and they carry on. In other words, the audience respects your music, respects theirs, and will come out and they will buy the records and they will support you. Well, so age is not a problem.
I don't think so. I mean, I was a jazz fan when I was a kid, and I was brought up not far from a place called Bristol in the west of England, and they had a hall there, Colston Hall, where I used to go and see Dave Brubeck and Miles Davis and Coltrane and people like that. It was my arty kind of period. And I never thought about how old the guys were at all.
No.
I just loved the music. And that's what we want to do, let the music speak for us.
The reason I mentioned the age thing was, in the 60s, there was a period there where, if you passed a certain age, like 21, that was it. But I mean, those days are gone.
Think that.
I thought it was 19.
No defense against that one. I used to think that.
We all did. You were good for 2 or 3 years and grabbed the money and run. Yeah.
I think the strange thing that's happening right now for the Moodies is that when we recorded Days of Future Past, and we did our first sort of major tours, it was college towns and university towns. So the audience was like 18 to 25, the
Right.
basic audience. And with the success of the latest album, The Other Side of Life, our audience now is actually younger. Some of the audience is younger now than the audience we had day one. And, you know, it's quite a phenomenon. And something when you look at it.
Well, music is the international language, and I guess
Absolutely.
if anybody knows it, it's you two.
Yeah, knows no boundaries. Really.
It must be strange to play some places in the area and you just wonder why you're up there, if anybody there knows what the words are. But they do.
They do, yeah.
They do, yeah.
They
They do.
understand the emotion and the message behind it. Yeah.